Hi, it's Christy. Today I want to talk about travel. I want to talk about travel every day. Today I want to talk about seeing life through a different lens, which is one of the things that travel does. So back in 2007, I went on a tour in Egypt, and I had this wonderful guide, Sharif. And I remember driving through Cairo, and he was telling us about how the buildings were only half built. So like everywhere you went, there weren't roofs on the buildings, or just like half, like a floor and just like missing the ceiling, basically in the roof. And like, it was really odd because it was like that everywhere. And we asked him about it at some point, and he said, well, they don't finish the buildings because one, if they need to build more floors, well, they can just build another floor. The other reason was, once the building was finished, they had to pay taxes on it. So they just didn't finish the building. And I'm like, oh, all right, well, I get that. But doesn't somebody like call like the tax people and be like, or the building people and be like, hey, my neighbor's building isn't done. And he's like, no, why would you do that? And then I thought, why would you do that? Are you doing it, because the building isn't safe, or are you doing it because you don't like your neighbor? And it's kind of funny because here at home in a more Western country, in the more Western world, you would call because it's either not safe or because you don't like your neighbor. I don't think that was the case in Egypt. It was this different view on life. It was this view not of lawlessness, but of community. It was this, you're not telling your neighbor, you're helping each other out. You're allowing each other to fulfill your lives. So it was really interesting to see. And these are the little things that you see in life when you travel that you don't see when you're at home. I remember reading very recently, I'm going to Italy later this year, and I was reading a review of a resort, and somebody said, the resort wasn't nice enough, the accommodations weren't nice enough, it was the middle of nowhere, everything was small. And I said, that's Europe. That's all of Europe. It's not the resort, it's Europe, it's like that. And it's so funny how sometimes we don't even realize how open to the world we are or aren't until we're exposed to it. So that's the value in travel. That's the reason I love it. I mean, it's great to see different destinations, but it's really great to see places that are different and challenge your thinking. All right, so go travel somewhere cool. Tell me about it, or just comment below as some cool experience or some aha moment you had while traveling. Thanks.